in on
Your
dumb
mic
shit.
sounds fine. It's been way worse in the past.
Yeah,
You sound
yeah. Well,
passable.
yeah, I'm on my telephone.
Oh, okay.
All right, since now, yeah,
$162 Logic.
I'll just chime in. Panda, I love you. I miss you. Come back to the States so we can have sex.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that was.
Yeah, we had a good time last time.
Did we?
It can't have been that good then.
all right. Since we're all here, I think we can get down to business. Since I already started recording and everything.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, everything you guys said the last like 10 minutes has been recorded and heard by at least 40 people. So, good job on that.
That's a good start.
That's like 10 times as many listeners as our old podcast.
Again, traditionology. Something is gonna be fucked up for it to work. Anyway, hi guys. We're the LG crew plus Dimitri, trap extraordinaire.
Yeah, that's me.
The only person that commissions lewds of themselves.
Excuse you.
Listen,
not
I've commissioned one.
Dimitri is not a trap. Dimitri is a otokonoko. Get your shit fucking right. Alright? Don't be offensive on this podcast, nigga.
I'm around. You're allowed to be offensive. It comes with the territory.
Already fucking banned.
Anyway, I'm just a victim of perversions. I don't commission them. They just come to me.
Yeah, whatever.
You said you commissioned one. Why do I have 3 on my hard drive? I know, I collect them.
Because people draw them. I didn't commission them. I'm a victim here.
Alright. So, either way, you guys introduce yourselves. I'm the host. I'm pretty unimportant. The guests are more important. So fuck you guys. Introduce yourselves.
Anyone want to go first, or
Bob, you do first. Go ahead. You're a Canadian. Canadian.
you're supposed to be
Alright.
polite, man. Live up to your culture.
Live up to your culture. Yeah, okay, 1 second while I go get blackface, because apparently that's what I'm doing now. Yeah, but okay. So, Bob BQ, also known as just BBQ, or BBQ, and any of their an alias at this point. Co-owner of Koopa Networks, also Koopa Studios, been a commissioner also since 2010. That's how I got my start in this space, I guess you want to call it. I don't know what the hell you want to call this space. This pit of incestuous hentai. Been basically building things up from the ground up over at Koopa Networks, trying to help artists elevate their careers, basically, I guess, if you want to call it that, because one of the things that we've been trying to do over there is just get people safe hosting, and then that grew into how to actually get proper payment processing, and then it just kept getting layered on top of that until fast forward to present, and now we basically have 3 companies, 1 data center, at least 25 people who are directly working with us, associated with us, or like almost like subcontracted through us at this point. And that was all in the space of basically a year. So yeah, I think that's basically the quick summary without boring people.
Real quick, a lot of people in chat are saying things are too low.
Yeah, I'm working on
volume wise.
as you guys introduce yourself. No
Okay,
worries.
gotcha.
So he's also incredibly homosexual, isn't that right, Bob?
You want that to be the case. You desperately want that to be the case. But what you don't understand is, just like a certain other person on the internet who brags about Pringles tins and all the rest of that, you try to come at me, you will find one in your butt.
Hey, listen. Don't drop the soap.
Are you guys flirting? What are you?
This is just normal banter,
Hey.
Dimitri.
This is normal.
Hey, Dimitri, don't get jealous, okay? It's unbecoming, all right?
That too.
Like Dimitri, this is like
It's not jealousy. Logic's too much.
this is day-to-day business.
I'll agree with that.
So yeah, Panda, what the fuck are you?
Hey, I write sometimes for LewdGamer. I kind of stopped doing that, but maybe I'll come back one day.
He's still right. He's just busy in Japan being a good teacher.
That sounds fun.
Don't fucking dox me.
Nigga, what the
There's a lot of teachers in Japan. You'll be fine.
I think you're fine, man. Right?
I'm an elementary teacher by day, and I write for a porn website by night.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, hey.
That sounds like something I've read before.
Oh,
Stephen King made an orgy. He got away with it. You're okay.
Underage orgy, by the way.
Underage.
Yes, a child orgy on the back of a turtle.
He was also extremely high on cocaine, but I hope you're not doing that because then I don't want you to go to jail.
Look, if you talk about cocaine in Japan, you can find yourself on like the wrong end of the law immediately.
Jesus Christ!
Just
It's
like
really
about it?
like, oh yeah, seriously. Well, you know how like that new Yakuza game, not Yakuza. Well, yeah, it's Yakuza spinoff, Judgment. The main bad guy in that is a real actor, and there was a suspected use of cocaine, and he was pulled digitally from the game and replaced with some other dude. So the Japanese character is a completely different bad guy from the American version of that game. And it was just because they heard there was like an allegation of cocaine use. And so yeah, they just fucking wiped him from the game. So there you go.
Gotta love due process.
Yeah, Japan's really big and piracy.
Yeah, we complain about people getting cancelled, but you do one thing and your whole career is basically over in Japan. Just one thing.
I mean, I could theoretically just like buy a copy of the game and play the original version, but I don't know.
To hear celebrities doing drugs is like a rite of passage.
Yeah, it's more of a requirement. You're not cool until you do.
All right, Dimitri, your turn.
What am I doing?
Introduce your fucking self.
I'm Ness Monroe Show / Dimitri Monroe. I do a YouTube channel where I talk about video games and bitch about journalists. I post hot takes on Twitter and I stream. And then now I'm doing voice work for one of Logic's games. That's about it.
And Logic, you're the last one. Everyone knows you at this point because you get around, so to speak.
Oh, he does, from what I hear.
Logic, nigga, wake up. I think he's just trying to fuck with the cat, just a bit.
Is it a bit?
Yeah, just a bit.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's talking and he can't hear what we're saying over his own voice.
He probably muted himself.
Yeah, like he's just muted. And
Yeah.
he doesn't realize it.
Okay, since Logic is being retarded, I think we've got a few topics to go through.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, I gathered you here today to basically shit talk on the internet because people like to listen to that. And since we have a lot of people here that have hot takes. Oh, hi Logic, fuck you.
I'll come back. Was that a bit?
No, that's not a bit. That's just Logic being Logic. Either way, I wanted to talk about anime TDs with you guys today.
Big ones or small ones?
Are you guys aware of the Bring Back Gatekeeping hashtag that has been going around on Twitter?
Some Polish dude made me aware of that.
So, since the audience might not know, but considering like our audience, I think they are already in the know. Basically, Bring Back Gatekeeping is about making sure that normies get the fuck out of our hobby, and they should stop getting mad about fan service and lewd depictions of underage, quote unquote underage characters. This is a discussion that we're gonna get into pretty rapidly as this goes on. It's basically saving the hobby from quote unquote new fans that are coming over.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay.
Well,
The only thing I like to say from a technology point of view is good luck with that.
Well, I mean, my opinion with this is there's technically no such thing as gatekeeping. If someone wants to get into a hobby, they're gonna fucking get into it. But the person who's gonna be offended by you saying they're gatekeeping or pushing you out, they're the one you don't want in the hobby anyway. So it works for the people that you are trying to push out. Like anyone who genuinely wants to get into the hobby, they're gonna get into it because they want to get into it.
Yeah, but for what reasons? Like, do you distinguish like real anime fans from the ones that are just doing it for the clout? Because like that kind of opinion is also going around and quite popular on the internet.
Well, I mean, with that is it's pretty obvious. It's like you have people literally complaining that shonen anime is targeted to teenage boys when that's the fucking name of the genre. Like it's just mostly like normie tier stuff that has to deal with it. It's like how fucking Shield Hero had all these problems for like months, so people were like, misogyny is something culture, I don't know. And then like immediately the next big thing came, they forgot about it.
I was actually talking to Bob about this a bit ago, where like, you know, it's kind of like one of those stupid kind of like realizations where I think it's really easy for a lot of people to forget that we are not Japan's target audience. I don't know where the West has gotten like this. I mean, it's not to say that you can't criticize stuff, right? I get that, but but it's gotten to the point now where like people expect like, hey, you should be catering to me because yada yada. I'm not going to support your show if you're not. And I feel that with the combination of that and social media, it bolsters that perception. Yeah, it bolsters the perception that these people, there's a lot of these people, but despite all the complaints Shield Hero got, it didn't stop the series from being incredibly successful and being set for season 2 and season 3 already, by the way, which is usually unheard of. So who cares?
Yes, but to that point, Logic, where is the vast majority of the criticism being directed at? Is it being directed at the actual original studios? Or are you seeing it in people and forums in around Funimation and the rest of those idiots in the West? Because a lot of the criticism that I saw is being hurled at them, like they're the ones that are creating it. And I think that's the problem with the normies, is the normies honestly think that because they see it on a shelf in a Blu-ray and it says Funimation on the side, oh, well, Funimation's making this. And it's just like, no, it's not. It's Japanese. And go ahead and try to yell at them in English, and they're going to ignore you. They're going to be like, I'm not interested in this. I'm not making this for you.
Basically. And I think that, and like, you know, it's like one of those silly, like, kind of like realizations. It goes for, it gets, you know, it's a bigger overall picture in terms of like, because, you know, I was talking to the guys and we are having conversations about, one second, nigga, stop giggling. Motherfucker. Right, anyway.
Welcome to LewdGamer's Podcast.
Hey, I saw something was going on. I invited myself.
Yeah, this is not going to be a typical podcast.
Hayes, you're welcome to stay, but fuck you anyway.
Hey!
Also,
it's fucked.
But yeah, but like I was saying, it's like, yeah, it is hard, you know, about the target audience shit, and it even comes with the same time with video games. So for me personally, you know, there's some people that do definitely disagree with this point, but Japan also treats anything on the outside of its own country almost like a bonus. So even though it is annoying when stuff is changed, like, you know, like them taking out the head pat simulator from Fire Emblem, for example, because we're not their target audience, if they feel the need that they need to remove this particular content because their fucking localizer feels that this is necessary, right, then they're just going to comply because they don't really care as long as they can get extra bonus sales from overseas. So, which is a problem, but
Yeah,
this is a perspective.
Yeah, this is why they don't
It's
really
reality
care
of it,
about the dubs. Like, if you guys remember, Dragon Maid had some, well, major and minor dialogue choices. Dimitri is probably aware what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the thing with Lucolo.
Yeah, something about male gaze, right? Like something similar to that.
Yeah, and something about patriarchy.
You know,
Yeah, it
it's
was
funny
because Luco dresses sexually, and she tried to say it was because of the patriarchy, but she's a character that molested Shota throughout the show, so that fits, I guess.
Also, didn't she literally get where she was by, like, molesting her sister while she was drunk?
Yes.
It's just completely unfitting for the character.
Mm-hmm.
So that's So
Yeah,
that's
but canon is not important to the localizer team. They are interested in maintaining their own cultural dominance in their own specific little sect, and that's what it is. It's a sect. They believe that, hey, we're being asked to use our resources, even though they're being paid. We want to be able to tell our story, and that's it. And they demand it, and it's really weird. Like, I've heard of some of the contracts these guys are getting with these, Funimation, all the rest of that, as to some of the liberties they're allowed to speak, and a big chunk of this stuff that you're hearing, and it's woke culture. It's like a bunch of VAs on a set trying to out woke each other in some cases. It's not the studio themselves that's asking for this. It's not even the localizer team in and of itself, like the people who are heading it up. In many cases, it's people doing these weird ad hoc takes, and then somehow, instead of it being cut, it ends up in the final copy, which doesn't make any sense either. Mm-hmm. So you've got people who are the low man on the totem pole making these decisions, which ultimately impacts the final product. That doesn't make any damn sense. That is like some sort of weird inversion. It's just like, why do you even have an editing team? Why do you have a management team? There's just literally no point.
Yeah, that's kind of like what we're going through right now, and like we have discussed in other live streams, Bob. Whether people like it or not, I feel that the age of Marvel is slowly being weeded out, while the age of mainstream corporate Hollywood anime is coming. So that's going to be a fun environment, because it's because what I find it really interesting is that unlike comic books, comic books had very lewd and provocative designs and things of that nature. But what I find really fascinating about anime going mainstream to the point where Hollywood starts adopting it is that it will always have this dark underbelly of adult content that it always has to like fend off. Right,
yeah,
and you can't get rid of it because the core of it comes from a country that's willing to be unyielding in their desires. And
that's the point. We've literally got two positions that are never going to change. And here's the thing that the Japanese don't understand about North America, and specifically the North American CEO. North America protects its own. So what does that mean? Well, you have CEOs who have completely and totally destroyed their companies, hit that golden parachute, and then float right into a new healthy organization, and then run that one in the ground, and then make a career of it. And in many cases, in the industries pertaining media, entertainment, etc., you see a similar we protect our own mentality here. So instead of these people realizing, I'm not going to get work, I'm not going to get fed, I'm going to be a homeless bum on the street if I don't fucking stop doing this shit, there's nothing to push back upon them. So what's going to happen, Logic, is even if they get fired from a project and everyone's just like, yay, we won, this like the whole Anime Gate stuff that's going on, right? Like, yay, we won. It doesn't mean anything. They'll move on to the next project. They're not gone. They've been relocated. You didn't do anything. All you did was momentarily inconvenience them. That's the reason why it's a lot of these gates that have been taking place, like within the MCU, Star Wars, all the rest of this stuff. It really feels like tilting at windmills. It really does. It doesn't make any sense. You're trying to slay a dragon that isn't even there, because your targets are the low-level actors who don't have any real say or stake in any of this stuff. And vice versa with the Japanese. These people who think, hey, we can influence the Japanese, just stop doing this. The answer is no, you're not going to. I mean, Kobayashi Maid Dragon was done by a studio that was predominantly women, and they had a shit ton of fan service in there. So if you think your woke culture is going to spread across the pond over into Japan, and you've got an entire team of predominantly women who are still embracing what sells in their own culture, you don't have a leg to stand on. So you could just keep screaming at the sky like a crazy old person, like, what is that? Well, congratulations. This guy and everybody else doesn't care. They just look at you, cringe, and move on.
That actually does remind me. That's something about the anime industry I've always kind of found interesting. Over here in the West, we kind of have this idea of there's not enough women working on something. We have to force them into it. Over in Japan, it's like, hey, there's not a lot of women working on anime. So they started working on anime, made their own shit. That shit sold, and then it changed the anime industry forever.
The crazy thing too is that, Panda can also verify this. A lot of the new age, modern doujin artists that are coming up right now are fucking women. They draw the most fucked up shit, like, right? They draw the crazy shit. So it's like it's wild, right?
Oh yeah, it's like all those fucking NTR doujins. Yeah, women mostly write those things.
Yeah. So I don't know what. Yeah, so I don't know what to tell them.
Yeah.
Actually, now that you mention that, and Hayes is here, Hayes likes that one doujin artist that draws shit about women getting the shit beat out of them, and it's a woman author and artist. I met her at Comic-Con, and I was like, just stay the fuck away from me. I don't like
Yeah, I have pissed off coworkers quite a lot with showing off Guro.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Going back to what Logic you were saying about Marvel, we're going back to the gatekeeping thing in general.
Yeah,
I think a lot of the reason that like American fans feel this way is specifically because of the Marvel industry currently and everything, where it is trying to cater to every possible person instead of its original niche, and that mindset's kind of infected things.
Yeah, agreed. And like I said, we do live in the quote unquote outrage culture machine, which sadly it is very much universal. So if you're not going out and calling for the end of the world, right? You're not getting clicks, which is sad, because I feel that there is even some YouTubers that I've had some modicum of respect for that have evolved in those same tactics that we've constantly been chastising for, and it's
just the opposite end.
Yeah, I know. But regardless of that, then yeah, I understand it's more of like a defense mechanism. They're like, yeah, we already seen like one of the most popular, a very niche environment reach to a state of popularity that has only benefited corporations making billions of dollars, so destroying franchises, right? Like Star Wars is basically dead, right? It's gonna
basically dead.
It's not dead, but it's like
dead to the people.
It has reached a cultural stopgap, right? Like you won't, once they have destroyed the corpse, it won't be coming back, nigga.
So you're saying it still prints money, but it doesn't have any cultural impact?
Basically.
He destroyed it. It's gone.
Yes. Are you high?
Are you stupid?
But Logic, okay? I heard Brie Larson's gonna be in the new Star Wars.
Shut up.
Just further verifies that it's dead.
Okay, it wasn't that funny, dude.
He's just trying to be supportive of you.
Yeah, man. He's just helping you out.
Yeah.
You please shut up. I'm sorry, guys. You guys have to deal. I'm currently staying with a fucking retard.
I mean, hey, it could be worse. I could be drunk right now.
I could also be in my car. So it works.
Leave it to logic to bring his own heckler to a podcast.
This is a true LewdGamer experience.
Yeah, it only gets better from here.
We are the gamer gays.
Especially you, Hayes.
Hey, I am not the most gay person in here.
Who is?
Oh no, man, you're pretty fucking faggoty, dude. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know you, but I'm gonna agree with everyone else. I just get the vibe.
Dimitri,
Pretty bad.
You don't know me personally, but I do thirst over you.
Dimitri,
Oh, okay.
Here we go. You see what I mean?
yeah,
Can we please, for one podcast at least, right? Stop from everybody hitting on each other. All right. I'm the only one that's allowed to hit on people.
Are you guys just all expeditionists, and this is how you get it out?
Fuck no! I have a girlfriend, and I'm very happy with her.
Yeah, and that's some of
Panda's
the
jacking off
comments
right
you've
now.
made to me.
Shut up! Don't say anything more.
Yeah, see, he doesn't want me saying anything more because he knows the stuff I can say.
Yes, guys, shut up. Anyway, yeah. So, mainstreamification of anime is happening. And hilariously enough, there's already been a successful movie that has done it already. The day after tomorrow, or Edge. Oh wait, I'm sorry, The Edge of Tomorrow, which is based off All You Need Is Kill, which hilariously enough is an actual good movie and a good adaptation, a decent adaptation, right?
Wait, is that the one with Jaden Pinkett?
That's the one with Tom Cruise.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that is hilariously based off a manga series, and it's really good, right? So we already have movies trying it that have been successful. They've just been really low key about it. So,
But even then, I think they make changes to it, right? Like, it's not one-to-one.
It's not one-to-one. The ending the ending was changed to a nicer, more acceptable ending than the original tragic ending of All You Need Is Kill. But whatever.
All You Need Is Kill. That sounds really familiar. Bear with me.
And all people, it was Tom Cruise that did it. He did a good job in the movie. So I don't know, man. It's only a matter of time. I can't wait for the Bleach movie. Yeah.
There's a Bleach movie?
Yeah, live action.
Oh
Live action?
God.
Are you
think
kidding?
there's with knowledge. I wish I didn't know this.
Hilariously enough, the Ronin and Kenshin live actions are actually pretty good. So those are actually pretty good. Good directing. But anyway, yeah. So anime titties. Ultimately, the biggest problem is that now that the scene is starting to get to a point where and it's what I find like crazy too, is how there's anime fans who are actually legitimate like big weeds, right? Who are also kind of against it. Like for example, on our visual novels, I give them shit all the time for this type of stuff. So
it's so counterproductive to be into the
it's
hobby.
so
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. They're like, oh my God, like I'm so tired of the Japanese putting in all this fucking porn content inside of their visual novels that are really, really good and have good stories. How the fuck am I going to recommend this VN to my dad? It's like, stop recommending this VN to your dad, right? It's like, it's ridiculous. Who cares? And it's crazy how weeby these people are, but they're not willing to accept the Japanese's, views on sexuality. They refuse to they're like, we think Japan is perfect, but how dare they put sex scenes right in Fate Stay Night, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense.
How dare they put black bars over the shit I want to see?
We should get rid of Japan.
But you live in Japan, Panda.
2 nukes were not enough.
That's why he's saying to get rid of it.
3 is a magic fucking number.
Oh, Hayes. We're gonna get banned because of it.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get banned. But ultimately, yeah, whatever. We're used to getting banned. Remember that shit when we got banned from Hitbox?
Yeah, I need to bring up this history. We were playing one of Yoshino's 3D visual novel animated games. And it had things like, what was it, Logic? The philosophical fuckbird? Is that what it was called? Basically, a giant stork-like bird was fucking this girl, and that was allowed on Hitbox, but when
not only
made a
that,
rape
not
joke-
only that, underage. There was like a lolly fucking her grandpa. There was the bestiality, the dog fucking, all kinds of shit.
White
And
girls.
it was wild. I'm trying to. It was it Monsters Under the Sea or something?
Yeah, Monsters of the Sea.
Yeah, Monsters of the Sea, something like that.
Yeah, Monsters of the Sea 2 had that one. I know
Monsters of the
because I go
Sea
back-
is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I go back.
Don't
to
worry,
it.
Panty Professor. I'm reading chat.
Either way, all of that was alright, but a mod was watching our stream, and then someone made a very, very mild rape joke, and we got axed immediately.
But you're playing.
No. Here's the thing. The wildest thing, right? The craziest thing was that we noticed that this Twitch mod came into the stream, and we're like, oh shit, we're fucked, right? We're like,
Yeah.
fuck, we're totally fucked, and watched us the entire time, right? And I literally watched us the entire time with all the crazy fucked up shit, all right? And he said, I was going to let you guys stay until you said a rape joke. And I'm like, what?
Oh my god, you're literally watching.
What? Oh, it was just this. It was like probably the most degenerate shit ever. Because these guys that we were playing, we were actually playing. It's just wild. I understand. So we got banned from that, and of course we got banned from Twitch when we attempted to go on Twitch. It took us an hour. It took us an hour. It took them an hour for them to realize this when we were there. I actually have an idea in the future. So what we're gonna do is we're going to make new accounts and continue and stream on Twitch, and we're going to play a game of how long does it take us to get banned, and we're going to do it like once a month. Once, like every 2
Don't
months.
know how. So what? Are you gonna go for a high score?
We just keep making burner accounts, right? It'd be funny.
Yeah, until all of us are IP banned, because that's what they do now.
Just use VPNs. Yeah. No?
Yeah.
Bob has a personal built-in
yeah,
I will
Bob.
make
Get a
a
VPN.
cluster
Bob, you
of
have a
seed
VPN.
boxes with IPs from all over the world. They will fucking hate it. So
Yeah, and then I'll use all of my banned accounts to just troll Wings of Redemption or something. I don't know.
Wait, is he still
Relevant.
active?
Of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Down the Rabbit Hole recently made a video, so he's
2
got
hours. 2 hours of
Yeah.
content. About
2 hours fucking long? Oh my god.
he's relevant again. He's living.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't understand how these cockroaches just keep surviving nuclear disasters.
Well,
Right.
my good
Like,
boy.
DSP
People love a
DSP
train wreck.
is like, DSP is the most
My best
successful. Right? Yeah, go
No, I was just gonna say my best friend DSP is still around.
ahead.
I will say, no matter how you feel about
DSP's a king.
DSP, you gotta admit, like, he has staying power.
He has survived all kinds of fucking.
He has
Like-
begging power, not staying power.
The cockroach is less powerful than the DSP.
He's a king, dude. He's not going anywhere. He's gonna outlive us all.
Probably.
Like, the nukes will drop and he's just gonna say, how was I supposed to know that's gonna happen?
Wow.
Fuck.
I don't care.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
getting good.
I
Man.
love DSP. I don't want him to go away.
I know you do. You're probably on his Patreon, aren't you? You're the type
No.
of person that would actually give him money, right?
No,
And I
no.
know, yes. Yeah, you
I've
would.
definitely okay. I'll admit I've donated to a stream before. I was trying to. Okay, I was initially trying to help the motherfucker play. He was playing PUBG and he like doesn't know how to do anything. And I was like, here, do this. Here, do this. Okay, I give up. So,
Dude, trying to backseat game DSP is like... It's like throwing a baloney at a tank.
what does that mean?
The more
It
does
means it's
nothing.
not going to do anything.
Yeah.
One of the worst analogies has ever been said. But, you know,
Listen, I
Hey,
understood.
suck my dick.
I understood. As long, the message was communicated. The execution was, you know,
You're not
F
well,
minus.
but
Right?
I would have gone with water balloon, but yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
Execute your fucking mouth on my dick.
Okay, we've kind of meandered
guys.
through the topic. Like, let's get back to business. Dimitri,
Can we talk about?
Yeah, wait.
I was gonna say, can we talk about the ulterior girl tits?
Yeah, Dimitri. First of all, a question: which of the recent anime Twitter controversies is your favorite? You have like many to choose from.
My favorite. It's always journalists. I just enjoy the fact that, by nature, they're like afraid of the anime boobies. So with everything with Code Vein and Ulterior as well.
Yeah, speaking of that, chat, I'm gonna link you a rock paper shotgun review. I know it's not archived, so you're giving them clicks, so that's on me. Sorry about that. But
dude, just screen share.
Nah, I'm just gonna link it. Like whatever. I mean, they don't get much
degeneracy.
Rock paper.
This is, and listen, this is the first sentence of this review. Code Vein is a sexist action RPG about post-apocalyptic vampires that borrows liberally from Dark Souls.
No, it's fine. We have to find Matt Cox and kill
him.
It's funny because it's not even just like this review. I made a tweet about it, and I want Code Vein, so I read like 5 reviews, and 4 out of 5 of them literally had an entire paragraph dedicated to complaining about tits. Like one even listed it as a con of the game. Scantily clad female characters, boss design can be too much.
You know, okay. I played the demo with my girlfriend, and she's like, "Yo, that fucking girl is hot."
Did he mention he has a girlfriend?
but no, that's a good point. It's so funny because these people always act so progressive, but they immediately forget that women like tits, guys. Everyone likes tits, except for these prudes.
Yeah, but at the same time, it does give us some really good reaction images of, tits being pressed up against someone and someone screaming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why it's my favorite.
Yeah, this is why we need to get into this philosophy of actually, how to review games that aren't actually for you. You basically don't review them. Find someone else that actually enjoys this content and has the foresight to actually be objective about this content. Set some of their biases aside and just, try to...
But then you don't understand, right? Reviews are not always supposed to be just a wholly 100% objective. They're going to be inherently sometimes biased. So me giving, right, Code Vein a lower score because I don't like anime titties is a viable and valid review.
You could always do as Tank does.
Right? Because that's going to be the argument every time, right? If you don't like my review, go find somebody else.
I think it was Polygon. They went out of their way to review like a Galgun game or something, and it was specifically because the guy hated it. It was like legitimately the most worthless thing.
Yeah, but later on, that guy admitted that he just did it for the clicks. You went through his you went through his history of basically posting, and he loves games like this. He was just trying to spark outrage for the clicks. That's what they do nowadays, and that's the only.
It's really sad.
And that's another thing too. Sad. Like it's kind of sometimes hard to forget that we do live in in a post law society, right? Where it's like, personally for me, I think most of the time when people make these fucking ridiculous articles, they're not very serious about it. Like, they don't really care. These are the same people that probably the people coming out complaining about anime titties will probably go home and jack off to said anime titties. I don't 100% think that like at least 70% of the stuff that gets released from these fucking websites is actually genuine, right? So that's why I've personally, for me, I've just learned to tune myself out of this type of stuff because as a marketer guy, this would be if I was a marketer guy and I was evil or some shit, and I was Kotaku's marketer, and I'm like, yo, look at all these clicks and money that we're getting for advertisement because of these fucking people clicking on our articles, right? Whatever. And even when you archive today something, like there's always going to be that guy that wants to go see what the article looks like, right? It's ultimately by you spreading around that information, you're ultimately giving power to that information, and that's why I just don't spread stuff, or I just tune out. But I mean, but I understand. But some people just lack the autism to do, like, have too much autism to do that. But whatever.
That's why, Logic, our philosophy when we review games for LewdGamers, we just give them to people that like the fetishes that are included in the game, and then they know how to evaluate if this scat is good or this tit fuck is excellent. Yeah, yeah, we do that. Like, you're laughing. But
no, I don't doubt it. I did doubt it. But no, that's what a review should be.
We kind of learned that lesson when we had one of our newer writer, and this is why this the N-word test exists, right? But ultimately, we had a newer writer who and one of the first games that I gave them to kind of like test to see how strong their skin is was Starless, right? So this person played Starless and had like an existential crisis playing the game. Right? Like, I'm dead serious. Like, what, got depressed and sad, wanted to kill themselves. I was like, okay, we can't do this, right? We can't do this. This is why the N-word test was created, right? It is a way for me to test to see if you are capable of handling, separating context, right, and reality. Because goddamn, I can't have people playing some of these fucked up games and then wanting them to kill themselves afterwards. I don't want everything to do with that shit. So.
Also, I want to point out, being interviewed by Logic without any knowledge of that test is hilarious.
I mean, when Logic made me do it, he literally had like 4 other people on the call he wanted me to do it to. And it was out of nowhere too. He told me it was about the game, and then he called me in and he's like, "Say it."
Say the word.
Yeah.
What word did he have you say?
The gamer word.
Game.
Monroe had a heated gamer moment.
Yeah, the rise up.
We're gonna get banned from text though.
Somewhere there is audio recording of Monroe having a heated gamer moment.
It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
I'm a gamer. What can I say? It's in my blood.
Yeah, capital gay.
No.
Yeah. Yes. See, when I said I wasn't the gayest one here, that's because Monroe is here.
Guys, I'm straight. It's just a bit.
It's just a bit being bent over, having another guy take you from behind.
Oh my God!
Dedication.
We try our best to avoid the chat. Jesus Christ, calm down, right? I can hear the heavy breathing right now, right? Jesus.
Alright, I clicked away for like 3 minutes to hear something. And I feel like we're on a different conversation.
No, it's all relevant. It's all relevant.
It's all relevant.
No, I was watching someone's video and they opened up and they like Code Vein as well. So yeah, everyone likes Code Vein.
Everyone seems to think it's at least decent.
There are going to be some Japanese people who feel like like Sony, for example, or Sony, right? It has I don't know how, but I guess the California culture has managed to convince the top executive of Sony that this is the right path to go, and I'm just wondering how the fuck it happened, right? That's
I believe it's because Sony's stuff sells better in America, and they switched their main HQ literally to their California HQ.
Yeah.
And they're making the decisions now.
And then all the
also,
Japanese
I just posted
developers,
something in Fap Chat.
We'll see that later. But then all the Japanese developers just moved to the Switch and they said, "Fuck it, we're just gonna release."
Except for Senran,
which kind of died when Takaki left Marvel.
Yeah.
No, he didn't leave Marvelous, but he left his parent company, Tamsoft. So that's probably gonna be the end of it, at least for the mainland Senran Kagura thing. Even though Senran Kagura 7 is on the horizon somewhere there, but who knows how that's gonna go now when he left.
Excuse me.
Yeah. I don't know, man. All the all the girls are gonna be wearing armor from now on.
To be
Armor's
fair,
pretty
girls
hot.
in
To be
armor are
fair,
hot.
I mean, yeah, of course. I'm just saying. I'm just talking about like traditional ninja armor. It'll be fucking wild. Can you imagine if they did that to Senran Kagura? Like how much? It would be insane.
I'd cry.
I mean, like, Senran is kind of about the big boobies juggling about, flopping around everywhere. That's an important part, so you kind of do need to have it.
I'd love if they flopped around in the armor, quite frankly. Just because
That would actually be unreal.
Yeah,
It would
exactly.
be an absolute PR disaster. It reminds me of when Dead or Alive. It reminds me of when Dead or Alive, the latest Dead or Alive, was coming out and saying, "Hey guys, we're going to create more realistic models and things of that nature and whatever." And then everybody just lost their shit. They started fucking backpedaling immediately. It was hilarious. But by then it was too late, right? They're like, "Don't worry, guys, we're gonna put in all the sexy models later." It's like, nope, we have moved on.
You thought I was Wait.
No, Hayes, don't even try it.
Yeah, don't do that.
You'll fucking.
I'm glad you stopped. I'm glad you stopped yourself because you didn't realize how bad it was, right? You're gaining some self-awareness. I'm proud of you.
No matter which job I work at, I'm always getting insulted. It's kind of crazy.
But you insult us too, right? At least, right? You can't go and tell your boss, "Fuck you, suck my dick." Here you can, right? So,
and
so
he's gonna
it's a
suck
two-way
your
street.
dick too.
I mean, to be fair, to be perfectly fair, one of my managers knows how big my dick is.
Oh my god!
Of course.
You wanna?
Of course. Hayes. I'm glad you know how big your fucking dick is because you can't keep it in your pants.
Yes.
Yeah, you wanna contextualize that a bit?
Think about it.
Hayes,
All right, we're okay. You have a big.
Everyone here has seen your dick, whether they wanted to see it or not. So
That is not true.
That is
I haven't
completely
seen it.
true.
No.
You
That is fucking completely
listen,
true.
listen. You tweeted at the LG Twitter account with your fucking dick just so you could
I
show it to people.
Wait, what?
I did not do that.
You did it.
Right? We've already seen it once. We don't need to see it over and over and over again. All right?
Yeah, enough is enough, Hayes.
I showed it to what was his name, Loping, not to the Twitter.
You did.
Logic, you run an interesting ship. Okay, you're gone.
Yeah, this is what happens around here.
No, he's busy sending me a direct DM, and he literally added everyone on a direct DM to me.
This is exactly what I expected to be getting into today.
See? I hate those. Yeah, so.
And also, I'd like to say, right?
No.
I found out that.
No.
Did you just mute him? Did you just mute him?
Okay, guys. Let's move on to a thing everyone here likes. I don't know if Dimitri likes it, but let's talk about looting underage characters.
Oh boy.
Opinions.
Okay, I've had conversations.
Hell yeah, dude.
Very reasonable
The
conversations on Twitter about this.
I can't tell if that's
I need to find that thread.
Yeah.
Do tell, Panda. Do tell.
Well, long story short, your drawings, who cares? Yada yada yada. If you want an example of a relatively functional society that basically loots all kinds of crazy stuff, look at Japan, right? They're fine. And it just so happens that all the countries that try to block lewd lolly stuff end up being pedophiles that have higher crime, have higher rates of fucking molesting minorities. I mean molesting.
Yeah, only the minorities, the little white boys get to be safe.
I'm so tired of the argument. I'm not even like the biggest lolly guy in the world. All right,
You're just like autopilot.
It doesn't matter. Right? I have like I'm more of an opie lolly guy. I like big titted, short stack
That's
stuff.
still lolly.
Huh? No, it's not. Okay.
You said opie lolly. You can't.
It's opie lolly, not lolly. Get your fucking tags right, nigga.
Just say
I
short
swear to God.
stack.
But that's a different thing. Short stacks and opie lollies are completely different.
yeah,
and I
thank
will fight
you.
them on this.
Come on, right? Now you're triggering my autism, right? Lurk more,
It
goddammit.
feels like yours is always off.
Lurk more. But anyway.
Like, right now in the chat we have the lolly connoisseur, which is Jekko.
Oh, Jekko?
Yeah, Jekko.
That's right.
Jekko is the person that probably has the most experience when it comes to discussing this kind of stuff with the anti-lolly people.
That's because he never stops.
Yeah,
ever.
Yeah, all kinds of fucking arguments these people make at him. Like it's basically it's not okay to do anything with a fictional character at this point because it's gonna upset someone either way.
Kill me.
To be fair, I can appreciate the concern of someone just fighting for what he loves.
I don't think Jekko likes lolly. Like,
that's the worst part. It's like,
I know
yeah,
Panda does.
That's what makes it really fun.
Fucking die.
You can tell he loves me.
Are you actually judging Panda because of the law? Like, shut the fuck up, right?
I'm not judging him. I'm not
people.
judging him. I just think it's cute.
That was sounding like the voice of somebody who was judging someone. Shut up.
Absolutely
Be quiet,
not.
right? You of all people.
This
You
is
of all
a
people.
judgment-free zone.
I don't think that's true.
Right.
No, definitely not.
But ultimately, yeah. Like, people like whatever you like, and my biggest way to like, I was talking to Bob about this a while ago. And we're like, you have two options. You have the option of pedophiles diddling children, or pedophiles jacking off to lolly. Which one do you want to pick, right? And people are going to tell you every time that none of it should exist. None of it, every drug. All of it is bad. All of it is terrible. We should get rid of it. We should get rid of all of it.
Never liked. Never mind. I'm not gonna finish that.
I remember I saw someone that literally said that looting a lolly was arguably more creepy than looting an actual child.
That's fucking weird.
Oh my god.
That's weird.
That's the fucking Twitter experience right there.
So that's where I'm at right now.
You found where they lived, and then you dropped them into a well, right?
We all wish.
You guys,
so the argument here is
a bit of perspective to the chat here because some of them aren't aware.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I'll continue later.
So Dimitri, you were saying about that guy.
Well, a lot has happened. What was I saying?
About the guy that said that looting a lolly was a lot worse than looting a child. Like you mentioned that argument.
Oh, I just someone else mentioned it. I just mentioned seeing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think I remember Monroe commenting on it, but
it was just some guy on Twitter. I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
It was happening around. I think it's from Demon Slayer. That girl is from. The little girl with the thing in her mouth that you see running around that everyone's been looting. Someone made an aged-up comment of her, an aged-up picture of her, and that caused some big controversy. And then it's like, this is really creepy. This is like waiting for a girl to turn 18 so that you can finally have sex with her. And then it got into these really weird takes like, oh, that's arguably more creepy than looting an actual child.
Yeah, they made arguments about grooming a picture, basically. That's what it amounted to.
But people can use anything for that. Not to mention, everyone was underage at some point. Like, I literally saw a porn star freaking out about it. Like, someone who does underage scenes, like, freaking out about a fucking aged up lolly picture. It's ridiculous.
Well, here's a thought exercise then. You know how the internet also likes to anthropomorphize stuff and make it Rule 34?
We're gonna talk about 40s here because we're gonna talk.
No, we're gonna talk about like taking a toaster or a stapler and anthropomorphizing it, right? So the question that I have to that is if that toaster was only made.
I'm gonna take a toaster and drop it in the fucking bathtub.
Well, you can do that after, by all means. But the point I'm trying to make is that toaster has a manufacture date. So technically, it has a birth date. And because somebody anthropomorphized that thing and it's only a couple months old, you just did TylerCon, my boy.
All right, I was just looking for it, but
Jekko posted it, by the way.
Somebody was arguing against me that lolicon can be used to groom children, and then one of the replies to that thread was like, "You can use fucking candy to groom children, so we ban that as well."
I mean, you would know Panda.
Like, hey, my man, my man Panda's a respected Japanese school teacher. He does not lewd any of his students. Okay.
That didn't help the case at all.
Yeah, even though they're trying, right? I find it funny how like sometimes where there's people that go over to Japan and they're teachers, and because they have a different age of consent rule or whatever, and they could be teaching high school, and then you have like 16, 17-year-old girls hitting on you, and you're like, no, this is supposed to be illegal. Stop it. No, right? But it's fine over here. But no, right? It's fucking weird, right? It's that type of shit happens all the time. So.
What?
Did Panda tell you this?
No. Listen. All right. No, my girlfriend.
Oh, of course.
Your girlfriend, which you have. Your girlfriend, which you have, Panda.
My girlfriend, which I have and exists. She's much older. She's 20. Well, she's American. Okay, she's 25. She's much older than like.
You're qualifying your comments into oblivion. I'm just
Do
gonna
you
put
want
that
me
out
to
there.
mention-
Just
Yeah,
get the story, please.
Do you want me to mention one of the qualities about her you said you really liked?
Oh no.
I'm gonna
Yes,
get on
let's
you.
get right to
I know
that.
your
Let's
fucking
get right
address,
to that,
Hayes.
please.
I'm the reason you have that headset. I'm gonna come to your fucking house.
Me and Panda are good friends.
It shows.
Clearly.
I love you.
But
But yeah, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say, isn't the UN trying to, or didn't they just ban Lolly now or something, despite having a massive,
I can explain
massive
this.
pedophilia problem?
I can explain this like in a bit of detail. Basically, UN released a new set of guidelines which prompt the UN members to ban depictions of underage characters in fiction. Those are only guidelines. They aren't legally binding. And Japan basically responded to those guidelines with a very political and neutral "go fuck yourself" gaiji. That's what they did.
Kings.
Makes sense.
Japan's based, dude.
Can somebody please remind the UN that there was a thing called the League of Legends once upon a time, and Japan was the killing stroke that got rid of it? So yes, I'm all for the UN continuously talking shit to Japan, because I want Japan to come in there and just fucking slice and dice once again, because this shit's just getting tiresome.
I mean, let's not forget the UN does have Saudi Arabia on its Human Rights Council.
You've got all the very best players on the world stage. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, like actual, countries with real problems with really high child rape rates.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
None of that matters, man. You gotta ban the 2D.
Protect the anime children, guys. That's the real problem.
That's the real problem. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I guess that's
a fictional character can't defend themselves because erasers.
Yeah.
It's just an easy way to equivalently virtue signal, because it's a non-issue, but everyone's like, yeah.
Y'all know what paper towels are, right?
What do you mean? Explain.
So paper towels are like this, it's a Japanese fetish thing where they'll draw. They'll turn a drawing. They'll make a cutout of it and do new things to the cutout.
I get it.
Yeah, paper towel fetish. Yeah. And that's probably the closest we get to trying to violate things in real life. So, apart from that, I don't know.
VR.
You fucking kidding me? Twitch can't even manage their own email. They use Salesforce? Jesus Christ.
Twitch can't even manage their own thoughts.
Again, guys, just remember that Plexstorm has rules that are much stricter than Twitch, and we're still here, apparently. So.
Really?
Well, that's because we haven't got caught yet. You know how this works.
Yeah, but this place is incredibly small. Like, it would be very easy to get caught here.
We're flying under the radar.
I'm gonna post Harry Milk Pussy.
We're
in
the
chat.
biggest stream at the moment on Blackstorm.
Of course, the Shoda's posting the Harry Milk pussy.
So of course we're the biggest
What?
stream. Nobody else might-
I just appreciate
Shoda.
art.
I know.
All right, let's open this up. Let's see.
Speaking of which, Logic, our own streaming service is coming back eventually.
It is.
Trademark
It is
soon.
Eventually.
This is just a temporary thing, but we will definitely. LewdGamer and Koopa are joining forces to bring a streaming service. Isn't that right,
Well, I'll
Bob?
be Harry Milk pussy.
Yeah, I'm already giving us a
And rely.
10 gig commit contract on our new internet services. So yeah.
Yeah, we're also gonna be able to do videos soon. Isn't that right, Bob?
Yeah, the storage. I've got a back end deal that I'm working with a company out of Montreal, with Francophone, who don't give a shit, and that'll give us up to several petabytes of storage. So yeah.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, Bob's French, so that's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that-
So
it's all tabernacle.
So he's a faggot.
by default, right?
Yeah, they're faggots and they're faggots. Don't forget that.
Oh, French people are the kinds of fucking cunts that when you go to their fucking country and start speaking to them, even though they were speaking perfectly fine English 5 seconds ago, once they realize you trying to talk to them, they'll pretend they don't know the fucking word of it and just look confused at you while speaking French.
Yeah, that's
Let me tell you
French.
about Japanese people.
Yeah, to be honest, Japan's pretty bad about it too, my nigga. they're probably
you
worse.
speak fucking perfect Japanese to a person, and just because you don't have,
The right
excuse me,
genes.
just because you're not Japanese,
You don't have the
you'll
right
just be like,
genes.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're trying to tell me.
I'm sorry. Did you say you want to fuck my daughter?
Yes.
And speaking of which, Panda, how many courtesy your English is good for a foreigner do you get on a daily basis?
Okay, no one ever says my English is good. For
I
a
mean,
foreigner.
you're Japanese.
Oh, my Japanese. Okay,
Sorry.
yeah, that's pretty constant. Like, oh, your Japanese is improving so much. Just like, no, no, it's not. It's the same. I say, fucking, I want to eat food. Get the fuck away from me. Like,
Have you been to a Sundari cafe yet?
I haven't been to any cafes like that.
Oh yeah, I forgot you do live in the country. Oh, further doxing.
Just wait until he gets his afro back.
It's been back for quite a while.
Shit. Oh,
I'm
shit.
thinking about my kids. My kids actually told me that I should cut my fucking hair.
What a loser.
Oh, you poor guy. The funny thing is, I have significantly longer hair than.
Yeah, your hair. Never mind. Your hair is very long. Your hair is very
Yeah.
long.
It's also very unkept
Yeah.
No, it is not.
and greasy.
Greasy.
Hey, can you stop this shit?
Hey, whose face is over a deep fryer most of his workday?
This is true, but still.
Yep.
I still wash myself. Jesus.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm fucking sure.
Not your game.
Oh, that's
Well,
funny. Your
it's
English is pretty
amazing.
good from someone from an English country.
I mean, that's not even a wrong statement.
Okay, actually,
I mean,
in regards
if
to
you
that,
if you went to some places in Europe, they would probably say that to you though.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had people. I've had my one teacher in particular on multiple occasions try to correct my fucking English, and I was like, "Listen, you fucking stupid bitch! I know how to speak English. Get the
Did you
fuck
say it
away
almost
from me."
crying? That's what you just sounded
Yeah,
like.
but you
No, okay, the specific teacher, she was infuriating. I no longer work with her. She had a problem with doing her job in general. So for her to correct anyone on anything was just no.
Here's the thing: are you T-posing in front of her? Maybe not displaying dominance enough, my nigga.
Yeah, it's threatening.
T-post in front of your children.
I should have tried. I have T-posed in front of my children before.
Oh, that reminds me. The shit you've done. You remember when you wrote like you had all your students write that shit about me on your board?
What?
Oh my god.
I forgot about that.
This is a homeless
Yeah.
person. Did you?
I'm not homeless.
No, I said that you introduced Hayes as a homeless person.
Oh God. I
Oh.
didn't show them Hayes. I just told they didn't really know what they were writing, but I just told them to write like "fuck Hayes" and like "damage Hayes."
Hayes must
Like,
be destroyed at all costs.
Yeah,
Wait, like,
Hayes must be destroyed at all costs.
Hey, Logic.
Wait,
They're dropping.
like, did they actually not even know what they were writing? You just said write this on
They
the
were
board.
they were like, these kids are like 10 years old.
Oh
and
my
they're
god.
not very good at English. But so it was like 6 or 7 kids wrote it many times in different handwriting, and so I took a picture on the chalkboard and then I sent it to Hayes, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
It's great.
Yeah, what's up, Zen? Well,
Snow Days is getting name dropped in the chat, so I think you should speak up about it.
let me see. Why is it getting name dropped?
They like it. You
Oh,
should-
you guys like it? Guess who published it?
Yes, you're getting to suck your own dick now.
Yeah. You know, yes, it was you, nigga. You published the game. Right? How high are you?
I'm finally accomplished.
Okay, I got you. But yeah, let me see. So yeah, I published Snow Days, and I might as well. I'm also publishing, or will become the publisher for the guy that made Oroko and Kurobatis. He is now joined underneath the banner of Critical Bliss, as well as Flat Chest Dev and Tower Fag, who's the one who's making Princess of Conquest. That used to be Tower Girls, but he had to change it to Princess of Conquest after basically winning a lawsuit. But that's it for now.
a person in the chat says that he wants more mum made from you.
He wants more mom mix. Fair enough.
Wait, I thought he wanted like more milfs.
Which is that?
Is that blue? I bet that's blue.
No, I don't think that's blue because blue didn't play Snow Days.
I can go to Blue and be like, "Hey, fag, what's up?"
Yeah, that's something you'd do to everyone.
Hayes, you're gonna get us banned. Watch your fucking mouth, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Chat.
What's
I
so
would be
strict
interacting
about
a
the
little more
rules
with you
here?
guys, but I'm on my cell phone because the mic on my laptop is shit.
The rules here
And-
I basically copy pasted from Twitch with a few additional ones, but no one really respects them because if you look at the streams that are currently online, you will see a plump guy in a diaper.
Yeah, I saw that.
And one of the
Immediately left.
Listen, one of the rules on Plexstorm is that the content cannot be obscene, and it has to be in good taste. So apparently that's in good taste. So you know.
I love that there's just one dude streaming normally. Like, there's nothing sexual in anything. Just him playing Borderlands 3.
Also, the guy in the diaper says that he doesn't want anyone's money. Shit, the stream disconnected, I think. Trying to get this back up. As soon as possible. Yeah, it's Discord that died, I think. So, yeah, this is gonna be a one-man show now. Until we are actually able to get it back online. I just hope it was Discord and nothing else. Because if it's something else, then we'd probably have to postpone the shit. Yeah, that's why we kind of move away from Discord slowly. A few people are moving to something similar. I don't actually recall what it was called, but some kind of alternative. But yeah, the only thing we can do now is just wait for it to come back. And knowing Discord and how they operate, this might take an hour, which is not optimal for running a stream like this. So yeah, this is incredible timing, as you guys can tell. Since Discord is going back and I'm a boring as shit fuck, I'm gonna play some music for you guys as Discord is trying to come back. The stream is not over yet. We're just gonna hope that Discord comes back in a timely fashion. So stay tuned.
Oh,
has
right.
lasting
Yeah.
Chinese fucking investment.
Oh, so
Welcome
we're
back.
good. Okay, we're good. Welcome
I
back,
did not
Zach.
even say what I really want to say. Oh, okay. I can't say what I want to say. Never mind.
We didn't realize we were on break, so. Yeah, it seems like it. It was you and French
No,
guy.
it wasn't a European nodes in because I was offline too.
Get all that.
Yeah, what was funny about it is I know it's a routing issue on their end because one of my systems stayed up, the other one did not, which means for whatever reason the bootstrappy crap that they're using just randomly has certain servers that are acting as like a CDN and they don't know how to route between each other properly. So it's just shitting itself randomly. But I guess that's what happened with Tencent money.
Hey, Bob, I'm going to tell you something
Damn
real quick.
furs.
Nerd.
Damn, dude, you're just gonna take that?
I don't give a shit. I've been in IT for so goddamn long. He's gonna have to do better than that.
He's gonna wear. He wears it proudly. That's why I call him a nerd.
There's that as well.
Bob doesn't have leverage on me. I'm the dumb.
Don't worry, you've already hit accept on the friends list, buddy. I got my computer scrolling away on your IP.
I figured you just recorded me saying the N-word, actually. The hot gamer take.
I mean, if anything else, you saying the N-word and people finding out about it, everybody's just gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna suck his dick harder." So just shut up.
Pretty much.
Yeah. You have like a brief.
See, I feel like more people would be into it than not.
Yeah. And then you're gonna have a whole bunch of black people come up to you and be like, "Oh yeah, call me the N-word while you're like sucking dick on." Black people.
Yeah, you're you, Logic. You like everything.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I like everything except scat and gorilla. I'm a massive degenerate. I mean, that's what happens when you're a corruption faggot. So,
From my experience, though, yes.
Demi, shut up.
What? I was asked a question and I answered it. I'm trying to be a good guest.
You're the worst.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it seems like.
Oh,
Well, I can tell you, Dimitri, you've been the best guest ever on the LewdGamer Podcast.
Oh, thank you. I'm assuming I'm the first.
Yeah, so?
yeah, it's kind of funny.
Title.
It's kind of funny because Demi has always been an LG fan, and Demi also tried to apply to write for us, and I don't know what happened, right? But Demi came back around in a whole different way.
Yeah,
it works out better this way. So
I wish that you would have not hired me to be a writer, and then later on hired me to be a voice actor for your game.
Shut up, Panda. You want a voice act? You want a voice act for a game, Panda? I want you and your girlfriend to record realistic fucking sounds for me.
That's one for the girlfriend counter.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Logic,
Like,
what did
give me
you
those
message me
authentic
about
sounds.
the first time? Like, why did we
I
start?
don't know. I have no idea. Like, I forget why I sent people additional messages for.
No, I think
So,
it had
I
to
mean,
do
I
with-
barely remember. I barely remember how me and Bob met. Holy shit. Ugh.
I remember how me and Bob met.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. Yeah, so. Oh, yeah. This is how it starts.
Time and weird face.
We're, we're just as bad. We're just as bad. Here's the thing: we're just as bad as Polygon, right? But we actually do have the diversity quota because for whatever fucking reason, right? Most of the staff is Black.
Did
Even Panda's black. Yeah, well, you're Slavic. Slavics are not white people. Remember? you're Anglo-Saxons, right, Zen? An Anglo fucking Saxon. Yeah, it's great.
Did you guys see the? What the hell? It's how he talks. Okay.
Pay
Did
me
you guys
lots of
see
attention.
Did you guys see Kotaku posting like fucking Harry Potter porn? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. I believe you're correct. Yeah. I don't think she can work a search engine. Especially. Pokemon. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was like an MS Paint like. It's also so funny because they were like obsessed with like the lore of everything and writing paragraphs about it. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
And didn't they like go at it for not being realistic enough?
Yes, exactly.
There's not enough realism in my porn. Well, I do understand. I want to look at Lig's ass too. He has a very fine ass.
Yeah, same. Let me see if I can find it.
See, this is how these people keep getting these articles out because we keep giving them clicks.
Oh no, this article got taken down and they
Yeah,
made a
Charlotte
public
did it.
apology. I need to find an archive.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty hilarious.
Stephen Tortellini. Oh, and someone in the chat pointed out they nitpicked the Harry Potter's details about Hogwarts' security. Yeah, they did do
Yeah,
that.
that's the lore thing I was talking about. Hmm.
Well, they don't. Do they know that it's an app? They could just not log in.
I can say for sure if I posted some bullshit, I'd have Zenith fucking adding me like, "Hey, what the fuck is this shit?"
Yeah, it's basically to prevent people from like messaging them, because then they don't have to read someone's opinion.
But
And it's like
again,
it doesn't exist.
again, you have a device in front of you. Does the login button pose that much inconvenience versus the lock button? It's the same thing.
It's basically like a door to your house, and you have all this mail sitting there, and at some point you have to sift through all that like hate mail to get your water bill, and they don't want to do that, so they just make it so no one can contact them.
Here's a better idea. It's called business, leave to email. Drama, leave to Twitter. The end.
Yeah, it's because it's porn. You can't present it in this like squeaky clean. Because Kotaku's tried to write about porn or video game porn multiple times, and they always try to spin it as some weird progressive take. Last time they were talking about there's not enough porn of May because she's like not the ideal female body. When there's fucking terabyte of May porn, you just can't use a fucking search engine, like I said.
Wait,
or
are we talking May from Pokemon?
May from Overwatch. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Both of them have a fucking ton of porn.
Yeah, exactly. And they were like, there's not enough porn that caters to like transgenderism or something in this fucking Overwatch article. It's like they always have to spin it and try to make it the squeaky clean progressive thing, and you can't do that with porn.
Oh, and that reminds me, don't you fucking hate those people like, Futanari porn is transphobic?
No! It's like, at first it was trap, now it's Fuda. I've noticed that people are trying to spin this thing around. It's only a matter of time. Go on. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't Futanari just Japanese for hermaphrodite?
It is, yes.
Yeah. It's like transgender people are not hermaphrodites.
It's one of those things. It's the whole so woke you end up circling around to being a bigot. Always.
Yeah.
Yes!
Oh yeah, they try and pink
all the
pill
time,
this motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I mean I get that all the time. That's why the fucking I think it was Karaku. They wrote a Catherine art. I don't know who's played Full Body, but I think it's pretty well known at this point that the one character is a boy, and they openly say they're a boy multiple times. But Kotaku wrote an article about how they're transgender and how the game is transphobic for them. Yeah, that kind of thing. It's like that shit.
Oh my god, I've actually had people try and pink pill me as well. Also, I've had other friends. Yeah, it's like, oh, what's that? You like dressing up in girls' clothing? That must mean you'll want to chop your willy off.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like a few years ago, people were always like, man, men can do this, or girls can do this. It doesn't matter, gender nonconformity. But now it's like, you step out of line, you're fucking transgender.
You have that infamous picture. What, you're 13 and depressed? That means you have dysphoria. Take these pills and post pictures on my public Discord.
Oh, the classic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and they'd have you post... I mean, yeah, they'd have you, like, post pictures, and then once you did, it'd be like, oh, well, you better keep doing what I'm going to do, or I'm gonna send these pictures to your parents.
Yeah, it's the Raiko situation. And I mean, in a lot of cases, it's not even that bad. It's just kind of, I mean, what happened with me, I don't want to stick on this too long, but like, just people like, if I was like, I like feeling feminine, I like dressing this way, they would say, well, that means this, and that means this. It's just drilling into your head.
Yeah, they just call you an egg all the fucking time. And it's like, no,
exactly.
You're just the cutest fucking boy.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Blushes. We're not on Twitch. Please don't eat the cat.
He's gonna eat a different type of cat in a different type of way.
I am working.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I was at Comic Cat for 3 of the 4 days. The first day was super chill. Everything was fine. The second day was like mostly yaoi, so I left.
You are a weak
Tank would have liked
person.
that.
But the third day, that's when shit like was real. That's when everyone was there. I waited for 4 fucking hours to get inside, and I almost died. So many people were taken to the hospital in ambulances from like heat exhaustion, just waiting to get inside. But yeah, so there were lots of fucking things inside.
Very vague.
Right, yeah. Okay. Day 3, it was like packed with lolly. And I was like genuinely concerned being inside there with all of these vendors just only selling like lolly exclusively. That was also, like I said, the busiest day, and people were huge assholes and they wanted to kill like fucking everybody. But overall, I'd say for anyone who I've spoken to in like the Discord, I think they'd really like Comic Cat. It's a really cool place. Did you have like specific questions? It's not like there's panels or anything to go to. It's legitimately just a bunch of people. It's like a flea market for porn. That's Comic Cat. It's just a bunch of people with tables, and then they have their different dojins out for sale.
Hey, do you want to see these 2 traps get like really fucked up by a old man's dick?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, they've so they definitely that's definitely a thing, and they kind of like what's the word? They prepared for it. So they have an area. It's weird because it literally looks like a pen like for animals. And they have like all the cosplayers out in there, and you do have to go out and line up inside of the pen so that you can see whatever cosplay you're looking for. And then whoever wants to be part of that, they have to stand in a line of many photographers so they can just take pictures of them. And you can like I walked around the outside of it, so I could see like some of the cosplayers were like clearly irritated by certain photographers that were there for like entirely too long, or getting way too fucking close, like in their fucking face to take pictures, putting the camera like against their cleavage to try to take pictures of just that.
I want to see them titties.
I didn't try to wait in line or anything. I'm not a people person, so I was already irritated just really just be there with all those fucking people to begin with.
Free condoms
Understandable.
will be passed around at this con. Cosplay is consent.
You know what? Actually, speaking of like weird, stupid public service announcements, I guess there was a pickpocket somewhere, and so they started like playing some weird siren or something, and these guys started walking around with a sign saying like, "Beware of pickpockets."
Were you pickpocketing people?
No.
I don't know.
Maybe. Well, the rape whistles for like telling people that you're being raped. This was kind of like, hey, everybody, there's a pickpocket. Everyone look around you and point at.
Be mindful.
Yeah, be mindful. But yeah, it was a kind of weird, and it just made me feel guilty I wasn't pickpocketing though.
Yeah, I wonder why you felt guilty.
I took pictures and I posted it on Twitter. Go on. No.
Yeah, his Twitter that with like no followers that he doesn't want people following to begin with.
What does that mean?
It means exactly what you think it means, dumbass.
No, it's like you kind of talked in a fucking circle.
I only talked in a circle because you can't follow.
Oh goodness gracious! All right.
Would you guys like behave and go in your fucking corner? Especially you, Hayes. Panda's fine. Panda, come here. I'm sorry. He's an asshole. It's okay.
I should mute Hayes.
Really, I'm getting done like this.
No, okay. So yeah, Comic Cat was cool and everything, but I'm already debating as to whether or not I'll go back for Winter Comic Cat. It was really fucking hot in there, and they have like, it's well known that Japan has like one vending machine for like every 10 people roughly, and all the vending machines are sold out. There were no fucking drinks inside, and it was really bullshit, and I hated it so fucking much. Yeah, I did say that. I still think about that, even though it's been like a month. I just want to go back to America.
Let's be fair. How much have you shit talked Japan since you've been over there?
More than I've ever talked Japan in my entire life.
Yeah, like you go over there and you're like, holy shit, this is a third world country in some way.
No, you just basically like, you know, 'cause I used to live in Okinawa. I think the problem is that a lot of people like to mystify other countries. So when you go there, you just kind of realize that this place is just as shitty as everywhere else.
Just
right?
as shitty. I've seen his oven, dude.
Maybe the only true paradise is Switzerland. Right? Everybody always like, oh, we got to go to Switzerland. That's the paradise country, I guess. Oh shit! See, there you go. Right? Clearly, it is the paradise country.
Well, I can tell you this: you can't bake a turkey in Japan. There's no turkey on Thanksgiving in Japan, because the ovens aren't big enough to hold a fucking turkey.
I told you his oven is fucking terrible.
No, you have to buy it on like the internet or from some specialty store.
Illegal imported turkey.
I mean, if you want to have a traditional American Thanksgiving, you need the turkey.
No, the anime figures aren't cheap. I see that in the chat. They're just okay. So this is a funny thing.
Is it merch?
Inflation has never hit Japan until quite recently, but the one thing that inflation did keep up with was the price of anime figures. So they're just as much here as they are in America. The only difference is maybe import costs, which, depending on what country you're in, they're really not that much. Oh, no, for sure. People like, you have to be a hardcore Japanese weeb if you're buying anime figures in Japan. They're fucking ridiculously expensive. They're absolutely cost prohibitive. Like that, you might as well buy a video game console than buy a fucking anime figure here.
But what if you want to hot glue it and post it online?
Listen, that's just part of the culture there.
Oh yeah, it's a really, really sexy concept. You're calling me a degenerate.
Like, I'm pretty degenerate. You're actually worse than I am, which is wild. Because I'm pretty bad. So.
I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty vanilla.
Yeah.
Do you? Do you? You might not know what vanilla tastes like then.
Right? Have you had your taste buds checked?
I feel like we don't talk because we haven't been the big friends.
Okay, hey, so you remember that time I blocked you for like a month because I was tired of you sending me gore porn?
Oh my god.
Guys.
We're all your friends, Hayes. You just need. We've
I don't know. I
gotten a
feel like
lot.
I've learned a lot today.
I'd be.
We have
I
gotten.
feel pretty cursed with knowledge right now.
I'd be Dimitri's friend.
We're all friends.
Thanks.
We just hate each other at the same
I'll
time.
send him a friend request right now.
Is sending gore porn part of me accepting this request?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's really not.
Okay, I'll accept it.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
Wait, what?
We're just making friends.
Yeah, don't go to Comic Cat for the money. Well, okay. If you live in Japan, you know, like everyone here does, don't go to Comic Cat. Just buy your shit from fucking Melon Books or something. It's it cost me $200 to get to Comic Cat and back from where I live.
Jeez.
In addition to don't buy shit.
Just never support Crunchyroll at all. Never.
You're not giving money to the anime industry. You're giving money to Guardian Spice when you buy from Crunchyroll. So think about that.
Mother's Basement doesn't deserve money.
I'm so sorry for you.
I do.
I just snuck in. Clout. Yeah. She's literally. I don't like talking about appearance either, but like it is fucking shocking looking at like, cause she's like a lewd model or whatever the fuck, Euro cosplayer. Like looking at her like cosplay sets and what she actually looks like, it's fucking creepy because it's like not the same person. I don't think there's any reason.
Wait, people are jealous of Mother's Basement?
No. You have a very sad life if you're looking up Mother's Basement.
You know, it's funny because I don't know this person by name, but just by your description and the pictures that you've sent me, I already know who you're talking about.
You know, the funny thing is, like, okay, I have to bring up Notch because I think Notch is the perfect example of someone to actually be jealous of. Because if you think about it, he just made a thing he wanted to make, sold it for millions of dollars, and now spends all of his time shitposting because he has enough money he never has to work another day in his life.
Yeah, he doesn't have to give a shit about anything.
He is
nice.
There's just some things that cocaine and hookers can't fix.
That's like everyone's story with Mother's Basement.
Yeah, I keep seeing it on my recommended, but I've never actually watched the dude. That makes sense.
You know, he just makes things for money now. I mean, you can see it all the time. Like I remember when the Death Note movie came out, he literally made a video defending it as like a good movie, and all he could say was like, "Oh, the cinematography was okay and passable." Like he just says things to make you click on.
Makes
Like,
sense.
Yeah.
Although this is reminding me, it's something I wanted to talk about earlier, but kind of forgot. The whole Kick thing became funny. You heard the Funimation leaks that got out, didn't you?
Yeah.
Woo! That's some funny shit. I remember because Tank is really, really interested in the Kick stuff, so whenever something new comes up, she usually tells me something about it. I'm just surprised, like, literal glass house.
Hey, I still have no idea what's going on with it. I just show up to these things. Same. Yeah, I also need to get off
Okay.
All right. Well, it's been fun for the most part. I enjoyed getting to bully everybody.
Bully everyone? No, everyone else did the bullying, dude.
Listen, there's a lot of things said today.
Nothing I'd want to take back.
Yeah, I'm not built for streaming. I understand that now. I say stupid shit.
I had fun with you, Panda. Mostly when people were making fun of you, but I'm glad you were here.
Panda knows I only make fun of him because we're really close friends.
It shows.
Oh god.
Knock it out. Oh, that affects my decision. Yeah, I had a good time.
We'll see if they let me on another one. They might not. Well, I figured I'd pop in and see if you told me to get the fuck out, I would. Oh god.
All right, goodbye.
Alright, see you guys. Alright, see ya.
Whoa.
That was fun.